Welcome back, folks. Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyke along with Al Losey, my partner in arms, and a special guest in the program today. We're going to be telling you about here in a little bit as we talk late model racing. 5 races done at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, 2 in the books at Dells Raceway Park. Tomah Excalibur Speedway still trying to figure things out as Mother Nature did not like that track at all. And hopefully we're going to have some racing tomorrow night out there at Tomah. And I spent last Friday night up at Fountain City. And Mississippi Thunder, the Dells, or the Dark Corn Belt Clash came through with their 25, 27 mods. And it just had a great time. So I think racing is here to stay for the summer.
That's nice. As soon as Excalibur gets their electrical issues, which should be done tomorrow night, I think the racing is going to be great all over the western part of Wisconsin.
Well, coming up, some very exciting racing up at Mississippi Thunder and La Crosse. La Crosse was... I don't think Mother Nature had to provide the heat. There was enough of it happening on the track during the races, and we're going to show you some of that during the program today. First, let's run down some results. Last Friday night, I did have a great time. I thank Bob Tim for bringing me up to Mississippi Thunder Speedway. The Dark Corn Belt Clash, 3 races in 3 days, 2 tracks, or 2 states, and 3 tracks. And what a great time. I had a good time watching the late models come through there slinging some dirt. The Mississippi Thunder A Mini Modified feature went to Mike Stevens. Matt Stevens took home the B Mini Modified feature. The third leg of the Corn Belt Clash, sponsored by Dart, went to Jason Ron out of Farley, Iowa. He had taken 4th in the first set of races, crashed the second set, and picked up the feature win in the 3rd set, and I know he picked up a nice paycheck as well. When you get those traveling series that come through, yeah, the ticket prices are a little bit higher, but the payouts are huge.
And the excitement level moves up a little bit, too, because the drivers love going from one track to another track to another track to try to figure it out.
And they really figured things out there as they pushed the berm all the way to the wall at Mississippi Thunder. Josh Angst, 2-time in a row track winner. We had him on the radio show a couple of weeks ago. Won the feature for the Modifieds. Jeff Brower won the Superstock feature. And Drew Larson out of Oskaloosa, Iowa, won the USRAB Mods feature. Oskaloosa is just south of Knoxville. Matter of fact, when I was doing the Knoxville Raceway announcing, Tony Stewart and Danny Lasowski started the Back Row Challenge in Oskaloosa, where during the feature you had a chance of starting from the back and picking up an extra $25,000 to win.
That would be worth trying to get involved in.
They ran that just before the 410 Nationals.
That would almost seem like a match race between those two.
Only once. Lasowski won it once.
He did.
He was starting on the pole, chose to start in the back row, and got the 25 grand. Coming up Friday night, A and B Mini Mods, 600 mods, was sold to Street Stocks, was sold to Super Stocks, and USRA B Mods and USRA Mods at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Dells had their 2nd race of the year, and the 40-lap late model feature went to Brian Johnson Jr. Scott Luck got the 25-lap Sportsman feature. 25-lap Pure Stock feature went to Dave Trout. 18-lap Bandit feature went to Arnold Preston. The Mid-American Car Series makes its first visit to the Dells Raceway Park this weekend. It's the Dells Duel Part 1. And Lyle Nowak will return to defend his win from the thrilling September Showdown. I remember when that happened. Bill Preitzel, Mark Pleurer, and James Swan, 3 Oktoberfest names. They went at it there at Wisconsin Dells. So make sure you check that out. Friday night, hopefully, Tomah Excalibur Speedway gets things going as they will have Sportsman Thunder Stocks and the Bumblebees, and of course a chaos event. 2 weeks ago, Brent Kirchner found his butt end into the turn 3-4 wall at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. They didn't get things totally fixed until Saturday morning, and he came out and won the Coca-Cola 25-lap feature event in a very thrilling late model feature.
Very thrilling, and a lot of the credit goes to him and his whole crew. That includes the crew from Troy Raves team that's also a team member, and they did an excellent job of getting this car not only on the track but fast.
Sean Paff tried to hunt down Brent Kirchner in the last part of this race here. Just ran to the track space, and maybe a couple of more laps might have gone side by side. Sean really took a look at getting past Kirchner as they headed that into turn 2 right there. Came off the throttle, and it was just nothing but daylight for Brent Kirchner into turns 3 and 4 all the way to the checkered flag. And again, congratulations there to Brent Kirchner with a very heavily damaged Sean Paff riding right behind him. Now, just before the feature event, we had to go through 2 cautions, and one of those Probably the biggest, to some more exciting wreck that we've seen here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway this year, where Todd Korish, Tony Lees, Bill Niles tumbling away down the front straightaway, and Niles took the brunt of things, ending up on the wall. We're going to show you a piece of video here in just a moment, but a very scary crash that everybody walked away from.
Yes, it all started with, and you'll see this, it started with Carlson. It seems like his rear end lost grip or did something out of the turn, and everybody was backing off, and there were different crashes going back through the pack, as you see a few of them get airborne and up on the wall. I know my son said that even though the crash happened close to the start-finish line, he was seeing the crash starting as he was entering turn 3.
All right, there's Todd Korish underneath, Bill Niles on top, car behind. Tony Lees was up against the grandstand wall. And we're going to kind of slow this down just a tad bit for you as well. As you can watch Steve Carlson as he's coming into turn 4, looks like he was clear, and as soon as they got to the flag stand, not sure if an axle broke, but something obviously broke. He went down right in front of Jay Herbst.
Yes.
And from there on, if you can watch this right here, something apparently breaks. Herbst very lucky to not be collected in that crash. Carlson clips the wall again as Kirchner and Paff get away on the restart. And then everybody's brake checking from behind. It's one of those situations, you see smoke and sparks and you're driving behind that kind of a situation, you've got to be on the brakes.
Oh, yes, definitely. I'm just wondering if from the crash from last week, if something may have not didn't get tightened up in the suspension and that came loose and broke. It's just an odd spot to lose traction at that spot.
Right there you see cars starting to slide down. I think that's the 17 of Scott Rand out of Arlington, Texas. He went down. Korish went down. Lees goes up against the wall. Everybody else trying to get through. And, of course, Bill Niles ended up horrifically up on that wall. Did walk away, but he's got some good back stuff. I know he was seeing some back specialists this week as well.
I think as the accidents were happening towards the back of the pack, I think there was 7, 8, or 9 cars total involved at some level.
Right, and that really added to the excitement here in KQEG. I bet you that thing made the crash of the week real. When we come back, we're going to talk about the North Country Contractor Sportsman, United Auto Supply Thunder Stocks, of Olden Outlaws, Olden Construction Outlaws. We're out at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway last weekend, and we have a very special guest in the studio with a very special sponsor in his late model. We'll tell you about that on the other side of this break. Al Losi and Dan Dyker along with you on the Seven Rivers Racing Show here in KQEG TV.